My beloved soul, listen carefully. Heaven just confirmed this soulmate connection, and this confirmation is not subtle, it is not symbolic, and it is not coincidence. This is the kind of confirmation that shakes the unseen realm. This is the kind of confirmation that silences every doubt you have carried in the quiet corners of your heart. My beloved soul, what you felt was never one-sided. What you sensed was never imagination. What stirred inside you when their name crossed your mind was not fantasy. It was recognition. It was alignment. It was destiny whispering before manifestation could speak. Type "I receive this" in the comments, because this is not just engagement, this is agreement with heaven. Like this video as an act of faith, subscribe to this channel, click the bell, and send a super thanks as a prophetic act of faith, because when you move in faith, you signal to the spiritual realm that you are ready to receive what has already been written. My beloved soul, heaven has confirmed this soulmate connection. The delays were not denial. The silence was not rejection. The distance was not destruction. It was divine orchestration. You questioned yourself. You wondered if you had imagined the depth. You tried to downplay the intensity. But your spirit knew. There was something different. Something sacred. Something that felt older than time. You have encountered many people in your life, but this one touched your soul before they touched your hand. That is not ordinary. That is covenant. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment. What is being revealed now is the answer to prayers you prayed in tears and forgot about in exhaustion. Heaven saw every restless night. Heaven recorded every time you tried to detach but couldn't. Heaven understood the pull you could not explain. This connection was not built on convenience. It was not fueled by ego. It was not sustained by surface attraction. It was rooted in spiritual familiarity. That is why no matter how much you tried to move on, something inside you remained anchored. This was not obsession. It was alignment. There were forces trying to confuse you. Voices telling you to give up. Circumstances that looked like final endings. But heaven does not confirm what it does not intend to fulfill. When God seals a connection, no misunderstanding can permanently break it. When the divine marks two souls, timing may stretch, but destiny does not cancel. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you. You see, your soulmate has been undergoing transformation. While you were healing, they were confronting parts of themselves they had ignored for years. While you were questioning, they were awakening. The distance was not punishment. It was preparation. You both had to grow into the version of yourselves that could sustain what heaven designed. Because this is not a fragile love. This is not a temporary romance. This is not a lesson disguised as affection. This is purpose wrapped in intimacy. And purpose requires maturity. My beloved soul, there were moments you felt foolish for believing. Moments you told yourself to let it go. But every time you tried to bury the connection, it resurfaced in your spirit. That was not weakness. That was confirmation. Divine connections echo. They do not disappear. Heaven has confirmed this soulmate connection because the assignment attached to it is bigger than your fear. There is healing in this union. There is restoration in this bond. There is generational breakthrough tied to your alignment. Do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. What you thought was rejection was redirection. What looked like distance was divine protection. If you had united too early, old wounds would have poisoned something sacred. If it had progressed without growth, it would have collapsed under emotional immaturity. Heaven delayed to preserve. Heaven paused to purify. And now confirmation comes because readiness has matured. My beloved soul, your soulmate feels this too. They may not articulate it perfectly. They may not have confessed it boldly. But the stirring in their spirit mirrors yours. The dreams, the memories, the sudden waves of emotion that seem to appear without warning, these are not random. They are spiritual reminders that something unfinished is waiting to be completed. Heaven does not reignite what it has not ordained. And what is ordained cannot be permanently silenced. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. The confirmation you are receiving is not just about romance. It is about restoration. It is about two healed individuals coming together without masks, without games, without ego-driven fear. The old patterns are breaking. The pride is dissolving. The confusion is clearing. My beloved soul, the next phase will not look like the past. There will be honesty where there was silence. There will be clarity where there was uncertainty. There will be courage where there was hesitation. Heaven has confirmed this soulmate connection because both of you are stepping into truth. No more pretending not to care. No more acting unaffected. No more suppressing what the heart already knows. This is the hour of acknowledgement. This is the season of alignment. And you are not crazy for believing. You are chosen for experiencing it. My beloved soul, breathe in this confirmation. Let it settle in your spirit. The waiting was not wasted. The tears were not ignored. The silence was not meaningless. Heaven was writing a love story that required refinement. And now the seal has been placed. What is meant for you is not lost. What is destined for you is not confused. What heaven confirms, earth must eventually reflect. My beloved soul, now that heaven has confirmed this soulmate connection, you must understand that confirmation is not noise, it is a seal. When heaven seals something, it shifts the spiritual atmosphere around you. You may not see the movement immediately, but alignment begins the moment confirmation is released. The anxiety that once gripped you will begin to loosen. The confusion that once clouded your discernment will begin to dissolve. Because when truth enters, illusion cannot remain comfortable. You were not foolish for believing in something you could not fully explain. You were discerning something that your logical mind had not yet caught up to. Divine connections are not recognized by reason first, they are recognized by spirit. And your spirit recognized them. That is why even in silence, something inside you refused to close the door completely. My beloved soul, heaven does not confirm what it intends to destroy. This connection survived misunderstandings, distance, ego clashes, timing issues, and emotional immaturity. It survived because it is not sustained by convenience. It is sustained by covenant. And covenant is not fragile. Covenant is tested, refined, purified, and then established. The testing season was never meant to break you. It was meant to reveal what needed healing within both of you. While you were confronting your fears of abandonment, they were confronting their fears of vulnerability. While you were learning to love without losing yourself, they were learning to face emotions they had suppressed for years. Growth often happens in parallel before it happens together. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment. The breakthrough is not only external, it is internal. Something inside you is stabilizing. The emotional chaos that once overwhelmed you is being replaced with quiet certainty. You are no longer chasing. You are no longer forcing. You are no longer trying to control outcomes. There is a calm rising within you that says, if heaven confirmed it, I do not have to manipulate it. That calm is a sign of maturity. That peace is a sign of readiness. Your soulmate feels the shift too. They may not fully understand why their thoughts keep returning to you with clarity instead of confusion. They may not understand why avoidance no longer feels satisfying. But the spiritual tether is tightening, not in desperation, but in awareness. When heaven confirms a connection, it also begins to remove distractions. Situations that once seemed promising will begin to fade. Attachments that were never meant to last will begin to feel heavy. Because divine alignment does not compete. It replaces. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you. You must also understand that confirmation does not mean instant manifestation. It means divine authorization. And when something is authorized by heaven, it moves according to divine timing, not human impatience. There are final layers being removed. There are last conversations being prepared. There are truths rising that can no longer be suppressed. Your soulmate is being confronted with the depth of what they feel. The excuses that once made sense are no longer convincing. The distractions that once worked are losing their grip. Because once heaven confirms, avoidance becomes uncomfortable. My beloved soul, the intensity you felt was not imbalance. It was revelation. You sensed the potential of what this union could become. And potential can feel overwhelming when it is glimpsed before it is grounded. But now grounding is happening. You are not the same person you were when this connection first ignited. You are stronger. You are wiser. You are less reactive. You are more discerning. And they are evolving too. This reunion will not mirror the confusion of the past. It will carry the clarity of growth. There will be conversations that once felt impossible. There will be confessions that were once withheld. There will be vulnerability that replaces pride. Because heaven does not confirm a connection to repeat cycles. It confirms to complete destiny. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. The confirmation you feel is also a warning against fear. Fear will try to whisper that it is too good to be true. Fear will remind you of past disappointments. Fear will attempt to sabotage hope before it has the chance to breathe. But this time is different. Not because the other person magically changed overnight, but because both of you have been transformed internally. The insecurities that once drove reactions are losing authority. The need to protect ego at all costs is softening. And softness is not weakness. Softness is readiness for authentic love. You are stepping into a connection that is not based on chasing validation, but on mutual recognition. That is rare. That is sacred. My beloved soul, your patience has not gone unnoticed. Every time you chose healing instead of bitterness, you strengthened this future union. Every time you resisted the urge to close your heart permanently, you preserved something holy. Heaven confirms what aligns with purpose. And this connection carries purpose beyond romance. It carries partnership. It carries support. It carries expansion. Together, you will challenge each other to rise higher, not through competition, but through inspiration. This is not about dependency. It is about interdependence. Two whole individuals choosing each other consciously. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. Here is the truth. Heaven confirmed this soulmate connection because both of you have crossed an invisible threshold. The season of preparation is closing. The season of revelation is opening. What was once hidden will surface. What was once feared will be faced. What was once uncertain will become undeniable. There is a conversation approaching that will shift everything. There is clarity coming that will feel like emotional sunlight after a long storm. And when it happens, you will realize that nothing was wasted. Not the waiting. Not the tears. Not the confusion. It was all construction. My beloved soul, the reunion will not feel chaotic. It will feel grounded. It will feel mature. It will feel intentional. There will be peace where there was once tension. There will be understanding where there was once assumption. And you will both recognize that heaven was protecting something too valuable to rush. The confirmation is not hype. It is holy. It is steady. It is secure. What is coming will not require you to beg. It will not require you to convince. It will not require you to shrink yourself. It will require you to show up as your healed self. And you are ready. Your soulmate is closer to acknowledgement than you realize. The silence is thinning. The walls are lowering. The pride is softening. Because heaven confirmed this soulmate connection not to tease your heart, but to prepare your reality. Trust the seal. Trust the timing. Trust the transformation. What is divinely aligned does not collapse under pressure. It clarifies. And clarity is here. My beloved soul, clarity is not loud, it is steady. And what you are entering now is not a dramatic eruption of emotion, but a divine stabilization of truth. Heaven has confirmed this soulmate connection not to create emotional chaos, but to anchor you in certainty. You will begin to notice subtle shifts. The anxiety that once caused you to overanalyze every word will fade. The urge to chase reassurance will dissolve. You will feel a grounded knowing that does not need constant validation. That is how you will recognize that this is different. When something is divinely confirmed, it does not demand performance. It invites peace. You have already fought the internal battles. You have already wrestled with doubt. You have already questioned whether you were projecting feelings that were never returned. But heaven does not allow one soul to carry a divine connection alone. What you felt was mirrored, even if it was not expressed. An expression is coming. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment. The spiritual atmosphere around your connection is shifting in ways you cannot fully see yet. Obstacles that once seemed immovable are quietly being rearranged. Conversations that once felt impossible are being prepared in the unseen. Your soulmate is confronting truths they avoided. They are recognizing that what they tried to label as complicated was actually sacred. They are realizing that what they tried to downplay was actually destiny knocking at their door. Avoidance loses power when confirmation enters the room. And confirmation has entered. There is a courage rising within them that was not there before. A courage to admit. A courage to reach out. A courage to stand in what they feel instead of hiding behind logic. My beloved soul, heaven confirms connections that carry assignment. This union is not only about love. It is about elevation. Together, you will challenge each other to grow beyond comfort zones. You will inspire each other to confront old wounds with compassion instead of defensiveness. You will build something that reflects healing, not trauma. That is why the preparation season felt intense. Heaven does not unite two souls for purpose without first refining them individually. You both had to unlearn patterns. You both had to release attachments. You both had to face shadows. And now, the versions of you that once triggered each other are dissolving. In their place, maturity is rising. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you. The reunion energy is not frantic. It is deliberate. It is thoughtful. It is conscious. There will be a moment where eye contact feels different. A moment where conversation flows without guardedness. A moment where silence feels safe instead of tense. That is how you will know that heaven's confirmation has manifested in reality. You will not feel the need to prove your worth. You will not feel the need to compete with anyone else. Because divine alignment eliminates comparison. When something is meant for you, it does not require you to diminish yourself to maintain it. My beloved soul, there were times you considered closing your heart permanently. There were moments you told yourself that loving deeply was a weakness. But loving deeply was never your flaw. It was your strength. The only adjustment needed was discernment, not detachment. And you have gained that discernment. You are no longer naive. You are no longer overlooking red flags. You are no longer romanticizing potential without accountability. That growth is precisely why heaven confirmed this soulmate connection now. Timing matters. Confirmation comes when stability is possible. Your soulmate is sensing the same shift. They may be reflecting on memories with new understanding. They may be replaying conversations with fresh clarity. They may feel an inner pull that no longer feels optional. That is divine prompting. And divine prompting does not fade. It intensifies until action aligns with truth. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. The fear of repetition will try to whisper that history might repeat itself. But history repeats only when lessons are ignored. And lessons have been learned. You have both felt the emptiness of separation. You have both tasted the dissatisfaction of connections that lacked depth. Nothing compares to what your souls recognized in each other. And comparison is no longer flattering to distractions. The standard has been raised. The awareness has sharpened. When you reconnect fully, it will not be built on fantasy. It will be built on honesty. There will be conversations about what went wrong. There will be acknowledgments of past immaturity. There will be apologies that carry sincerity instead of defensiveness. Because divine love does not avoid accountability. It embraces it. My beloved soul, you are stepping into a season where actions will match words. Consistency will replace confusion. Transparency will replace guessing. You will not feel like you are decoding mixed signals. You will feel chosen clearly. And clarity is one of the greatest gifts heaven can offer. Heaven confirmed this soulmate connection because ambiguity was never the final chapter. Certainty is. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. The final word is this: this union is protected. Not from challenges, but from destruction. Every strong connection will face moments that require communication and humility. But this one carries divine covering. It will not shatter under pressure because it has already survived separation. It has already endured silence. It has already faced ego. What survives distance with depth intact is not ordinary attraction. It is spiritual bond. My beloved soul, when the full manifestation unfolds, you will look back and understand why certain delays were necessary. You will see how premature union would have led to premature collapse. You will recognize that timing preserved what impatience could have damaged. And gratitude will replace frustration. The waiting season will make sense. The tears will feel purposeful. The confusion will appear as construction. Heaven does not confirm to disappoint. Heaven confirms to fulfill. The energy between you is aligning with maturity, stability, and shared vision. This is not about dramatic passion that burns out quickly. This is about steady fire that warms for a lifetime. You are not stepping into a temporary chapter. You are stepping into alignment with something enduring. Trust the confirmation. Trust the growth. Trust the quiet confidence rising within you. What is divinely sealed cannot be permanently denied. And what heaven has confirmed, no fear can cancel. My beloved soul, as this divine story reaches its sacred unfolding, you must recognize that you are no longer standing in uncertainty, you are standing in revelation. Heaven has not only confirmed this soulmate connection, it has matured you for it. The version of you that once doubted your worth could not have sustained what is coming. The version of you that once tolerated confusion could not have embraced this clarity. But you have evolved. You have healed in places no one applauded you for. You have grown in silence. You have confronted parts of yourself that were uncomfortable. And because of that inner transformation, you are now aligned with something stable instead of something chaotic. This is the difference between desire and destiny. Desire rushes. Destiny prepares. Desire panics. Destiny trusts. And what is unfolding now carries the signature of destiny. You are not chasing it. You are aligning with it. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment. There is a sacred stillness settling over your spirit. It is not boredom. It is not indifference. It is peace. The kind of peace that no longer feels desperate for answers because it knows the answer is already secured. The kind of peace that does not need constant signs because confirmation has already been spoken. Heaven confirmed this soulmate connection because your hearts are no longer running from truth. The emotional walls that once felt protective now feel unnecessary. The pride that once justified distance now feels heavy. There is a softening happening on both sides. A willingness to meet each other without armor. And vulnerability is not weakness, it is strength refined. You will notice that when reconnection fully stabilizes, it will not feel like fireworks that explode and disappear. It will feel like sunrise. Gradual. Certain. Warm. Impossible to deny. My beloved soul, you are entering a love that does not require performance. You will not need to prove that you are worthy of being chosen. You will not need to shrink your personality to maintain harmony. You will not need to overextend yourself to feel secure. Divine love does not demand self-abandonment. It honors individuality while building unity. This is why heaven delayed. Because anything built on insecurity collapses under pressure. But what is built on healed identity stands firm. Stay with me till the end. Something powerful is waiting for you. The power is this realization: you were never too much. You were never overly sensitive. You were never unrealistic for wanting depth. The right connection does not label your intensity as excessive. It matches it. Your soulmate is awakening to the value of what you carry. They are recognizing that what they once viewed as intimidating was actually inspiring. That your emotional intelligence is not threatening, it is stabilizing. That your depth is not overwhelming, it is grounding. Growth changes perception. And perception is changing. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. The final phase of this journey is not about dramatic declarations, it is about consistent demonstration. Watch for actions. Watch for effort. Watch for the quiet ways they show up without being asked. Because divine alignment does not rely on empty promises. It produces tangible movement. There will be a moment when you feel it clearly, a shift so undeniable that doubt loses its voice. You will not question whether they care. You will see it. You will not wonder whether they are serious. You will feel it in their consistency. And consistency is the language of commitment. Heaven confirmed this soulmate connection because both of you are stepping into emotional responsibility. No more ghosting when things get uncomfortable. No more shutting down instead of communicating. No more pride-driven silence. The maturity you both gained separately is about to support you together. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. Here is that final word: alignment. Not fantasy. Not obsession. Not codependency. Alignment. Two individuals who have faced themselves and are now choosing each other consciously. Two spirits who recognize that love is not about possession, but partnership. Two hearts that understand that commitment is not confinement, but collaboration. This is not a fairy tale disconnected from reality. This is a divine partnership grounded in growth. There will still be moments that require patience. There will still be days that test communication. But the foundation is different now. It is not built on fear of loss. It is built on mutual decision. And decision is powerful. My beloved soul, when you look back at this entire journey, you will no longer see chaos. You will see choreography. Every delay, every misunderstanding, every tear was positioning you for this refined version of love. Heaven does not waste pain. It repurposes it. What once hurt you now strengthened you. What once confused you now sharpened your discernment. And what once felt like rejection was protection in disguise. This connection was too sacred to be rushed. Too purposeful to be mishandled. Too significant to be superficial. And now, it stands confirmed, not as a fragile hope, but as a fortified promise. Breathe deeply. Release the last fragments of fear. Trust what has been sealed. You are not stepping into something uncertain. You are stepping into something prepared. Heaven has confirmed this soulmate connection, and what heaven confirms is not temporary. It is intentional. It is protected. It is destined. And as this chapter closes in confirmation, understand this with unwavering certainty: what is aligned by heaven will be sustained by heaven. Type Amen.